it's about 10:09, January the 29th. This one's almost gone, isn't it? Yeah. This is the workshop, Commissioners Court, Liberty County, Texas. And we only have one item to discuss today. The agenda is to discuss the tax abatement agreement with PXA Properties, LLC for Project Emerald. That's EMERALD, Emerald like the stone, located within the Gulf Inland Logistics Park in Dayton, Texas. So we have received an application from your company. So I think, first of all, introduce yourselves if you don't mind. And whoever's going to speak, be sure and say your name. That way we have it for the record, because we do take minutes of this. And then take some time and explain your project, please. Yes, sir.
Well, Honorable Judge Knight, thank you very much. Honorable Commissioners and esteemed guests, thank you very much for this opportunity to present here today. We're pleased to be able to spend the morning with you and introduce PXA Properties, PXA, and also reintroduce and re-highlight some of the information that you may already know and that you're familiar with. My name is Dennis Cruz, and I'm delighted to be here with my business partners here today, Breno Asprino and Marcelo Wassam, and we're very thankful to be here. Our group is we've assembled two companies here in order to form PXA in Texas, and the group that I represent out of the two is called Pristine Services Group, PSG. We're a family investment group, Texas-based, Central Texas-based, and we've been around for now going on our 36th year. We operate not only in Texas, but 17 states throughout the U.S. and 13 countries around the globe. So we operate in different sectors of business. That includes defense, aviation, automotive, and we're fortunate enough to be one of the largest mining companies from America that operate in Central Asia, in the country of Tajikistan. And you were working with U.S. government for offtake in that business, in that line of business that we operate in, for gold, silver, lead, zinc, and copper. And the most exciting thing that we do here is what we're here to talk to you about today, which is our partnership with PXA and our business partners and friends out of Brazil. PXA, as you know, and Polymix has a very successful track record in multiple lines of business, specifically in the circular economy and tire recycling business, which is really setting the standard globally for how you recycle end-of-life tires. And we're pleased to bring not only new business to the United States, specifically to Texas, but really creating the standard and introducing that standard to the United States and starting it in the great state of Texas and Liberty County. So I have a presentation here that really just highlights and bullet points really who we are, what we do, and what our plans are here. And I'll just go over that and really what our project highlights. As I mentioned, two groups: a Brazilian group, a United States group. And the beautiful thing of this is it's encapsulated in FDI, foreign direct investment, from an allied nation of Brazil to the United States, partnering with a Texas company, and not only bringing foreign direct investment, but in addition to that, knowledge transfer, technology transfer, and upskilling Americans to learn a new skill. And we really see that this is an opportunity to upskill our youth, upskill, our older workforce, educated, not educated, from general labor all the way up to specialized staff engineers. And so we're happy to make that value add to the local community. As far as investment dollars, we're talking a project CapEx, OpEx of $50 million. So we believe this is a substantial start for phase one of our project. And as we're talking about the circular economy and Polymix, it's really a new standard for for the tire recycling industry. This type of business, this standard, does not exist in the United States in a scaled up version of this business, and that's what we plan to start here, is really create the standard for the industry to see, and really not only Liberty County but the state of Texas to adopt as the standard for tire recycling of end-of-life tires. We see that what we can take out of tires in the whole process is valuable raw materials that can go right back into the supply chain and create 100 jobs. Now, the process that we have, and I think several of you are familiar with our process, but how it starts, it certainly goes beyond shredding. So shredding is just one phase of what we do in the circular economy. When we collect tires from, whether it's service stations, car dealerships, wherever, what we do is we collect those tires and we bring them to our facility. And this is how it currently works in Brazil. And the great thing about this is we're not coming here with a new great idea, something that we've done, a feasibility of what can work. We're speaking to your honorable selves as subject matter experts that have been doing this successfully for over 10 years in the middle of a thriving city called Sao Paulo. And, this is like putting a factory in the middle of Manhattan and saying it's environmentally friendly, it's acceptable to the community, and really it's accepted by both sides of the political aisle. We're an apolitical organization. That's not our business. We're purely commercial, but it's accepted on both sides because, one, you have ESG, which is important to everyone, and you have industry, foreign direct investment, and transfer of technology, which is needed from everyone. And so we do deliver that. So from a factory and operational perspective, what we do when we bring in tires, it's a very lean process. And it's like flying into a private airport it's slot restricted. So our vehicles that come into delivery tires bring in tires at very specific time intervals. And when they do, it starts at one of 3 shredding lines that we operate. The first is the introductory shredding. The second is additional shredding, which separates the steel from the rubber. And then the third, it takes it down to really pellet size pieces of rubber. And then from there, that's connecting to our reactor facility via approximately a 150-foot conveyor belt. And then from there, in the reactor process, that's where we separate the oil, the gas, and the carbon black. And from here, these raw materials that are extracted from the end-of-life tires, part of this goes back to be the feedstock and the power for our facility. So from an environmental perspective, there are many positive aspects to what we do to really complete that circle of the circular economy. Now, the capacity of our factory and really the size and scope, our phase 1 is comprised of approximately 120,000 square feet under roof and approximately 100 employees. And with this is a totally scalable operation. In order to double the capacity of our factory, it does not require an additional 120,000 square feet. It's very modular in the respects that we can double capacity with just a fraction of that square footage. Now, as I mentioned, we recover the steel, we recover the gas, the carbon black, and the oil. We have either domestic or foreign off-takers. And so what we are looking to do with our partnership team is look at whatever is going to benefit us, Texas, in the United States first rather than export. Now, we have had one initial discussion with EXIM Bank for exporting our product from the United States and from Texas, and they're highly encouraged to continue those discussions with us as far as creating an exportable product and looking at supporting our project. It's not necessary to the success of our project, but it's very important that there's an interest and there's a desired interest to continue those discussions. So that's something that we are engaging in at the moment. Now, with 120,000 square feet under roof and the operations that I just highlighted, what does this mean as far as production? What this means as far as metric tons is that we will process through our factory phase one. The capacity is 30,000 metric tons of end-of-life tires. Now, what is the definition of an end-of-life tire? It's a tire that's reached its end of life. It's going through the recycle process, and 30,000 metric tons equates to approximately 2.2 million tires. Now, we have tires, we separate tires into two different categories. We have car tires, and then we have over-the-road tires, so truck tires. That's really how we categorize the two, small and large. And so if you take 2.2 million tires, it doesn't necessarily equal 1.2 to 1.1 million tires or 1.1 because of the heavier weight and the larger size of the over-the-road tires. But nonetheless, it's 2.2 million tires. That's the feedstock for our factory, and it's a lot of tires that we're taking off the road, and in a very positive and a very sustainable fashion. To give you just some scale of how we've grown this business over the past decade successfully, in 2016, when we began the first tire and the operations of PXA in Brazil, 9,370 tons compared to where we've scaled now to end 2025 is 25,000 tons of tires. So we've seen a very positive and impactful progression in scaling the business. And this is exactly what we would like to do here in Dayton and Liberty County. And, you know, we want to make sure that we're looking at everything from being positive to positive impact for the local community, for the state, for the city, and of course the nation, and while considering everything involved is of course the environmental positive impact that we're making. Just to re-highlight here, the main things that we are capturing and why is the circular economy important is, you know, tires have 4 really important and strategic components and raw materials in them that are important to capture and put back into the supply chain. Number one is steel. Being able to put that back into the supply chain of the iron and steel industry in a positive way, in an effective way. In tires, they use very high grade steel. And so to be able to capture that in the process that we are willing to invest in is really a value add to the industry. Second, carbon black. To be able to recover carbon black is the virgin carbon black is not necessarily the most environmentally friendly industry in the world. So this is why you have several countries in the Far East that are doing this. They have less restriction and they're just open to producing virgin carbon black. What we are able to do is take something from a sustainability perspective and put that back into the market through what's called recovered carbon black. And this is a huge value add that the market realizes and has really been dealing with PXA out of Brazil. You know, some of the big names in the industry, one of them is Michelin. And then of course you have a lot of the traders, the Trafigura, the Glencore, the Mercurias, the Geralds of the world. They're highly interested in this. Number one, cost. Number two, not in any particular order, but But from an environmental perspective, it's just fantastic to be able to recover this for something that they wouldn't normally be able to recover and be able to supply that to the market. Number three, excuse me, is the TPO, the tire pyrolysis oil, and what this can do, the added value it can provide for the bunker fuel market. I mean, we're here in one of the bunker fuel capitals, and just down the road in Houston, and to be able to add that to the market here or potentially for export is just a fantastic value add. And last but not least is the gas that we are able to recover. And so this is fuel for pyrolysis reactors, primarily for our factory, and being able to offset the power requirements that we have. As I had mentioned earlier, that we have 2.2 million tires, or what's equivalent to 30,000 tons of our raw material goes into our factory for processing. Now, what this means as far as capacity, I'll break down each of those 4 raw materials that we recover through our process. End of life tires, as I had mentioned, is 30,000 metric tons, or 2.2 million tires. Now, the recovered carbon black production out of 30,000 metric tons is approximately 8,400 tons of recovered carbon black that our factory will produce and put out into the market through a green process. The oil and the gas we're looking at, the oil that we're looking at, and these are all historical figures. So these are running averages here. From an oil perspective, we are producing 10,500 metric tons of oil from our green process and circular economy process of recycling the end-of-life tires. And as far as steel is concerned, we're looking at 8,100 tons that we are recovering, which in many cases now is not being done. So we're going to be able to really add a lot of value to that market. As PXA as a whole, and then when we look at companies and standards, the way that we approach calculated risk is by pursuing a predictable outcome. When we're in partnership with cities, counties, states, and really the U.S. business, and bringing credible business partnerships like our friends from Brazil and business partners from Brazil, we want to make sure that we're bringing top shelf no matter what we're dealing with. Our goal here is to create the standard, to build a new standard in partnership with your good selves, and represent both of us in a first-class fashion. And to do what we're doing is we're doing this as an ISCC certified company. Now, what does ISCC stand for? It stands for the International Sustainability Carbon Certification. This means that we do what we say, and we're certified by a body that makes sure that we are audited as such, to make sure that there's a third party saying that we are who we are and we're doing what we say and claim. So in addition to this, we're also working under strict compliance with all the relevant environmental regulations and standards in the state of Texas. Really what we're talking about here is TCEQ, and how we have come to this point to be able to be here with you gentlemen today, and ladies and gentlemen, is working and by vertically integrating as much of Texas as possible, whether it's from legal, whether it's from engineers, environmental consultants, engineering, real estate consultants. We wanted to make sure that we're dealing and integrating a team that is known to the community and has the community's best interests in mind. As far as just a highlight of the project here, CapEx, again, 50 million US, creating 75 plus 25 jobs. So a total of 100 jobs, 75 new jobs, and 25 additional jobs that are really going to be centered around the logistics industry. From an estimated annual gross income, initially we're looking at approximately 27 million US dollars. And electricity requirements, peak demand is approximately 3,700 kilowatts per month, and total consumption is 1.7 million kilowatt hours. Now, from the water perspective, we're looking at approximately 1.2 million gallons per month, and natural gas 3,000 cubic meters per year. For one reason, and many reasons why Texas and Liberty County have been important to us in our competitive search to really break ground in the United States. Number one, my partners from Brazil, they have a partner from Texas. Texas is home, it's the heart. And so that was one of the main decisions here. Texas is where we need to be. Texas represents the 8th largest economy in the world. You know, we do a lot of business around the world, and we realize how important that is. Number one, we're a Patriot-owned business, and we need to be doing as much business in the United States, and centering that into Texas is very important. Now, outside of Texas, we have looked at other states, you know, considering Texas, Florida, Arizona, and New Mexico. They're all highly interested in expanding these types of operations in their states as well. But we're very thankful to be here because we believe that there's a lot of success here that we can achieve together. So we thank you for the opportunity to even be in this position. Really, one thing that I do want to highlight is the importance of ISCC. It's the certification that we maintain to really just say that it's an opportunity for us to present to all third parties that we are a credible institution in business that's operating in the circular economy. And this certification is one of the lead contributors to environmentally, socially, and economically sustainable production type companies like ourselves. And hopefully that allows us to approach the community with more credibility other than just the results that we provide as a tire recycling factory, and that they can understand that companies that are leading with this, in addition to all their capabilities like us, that it actually means something. It's not just stockpiling shredded tires and not providing added value to different industries from the raw materials that those tires can generate. I'll pass it here to my business partner and dear friend Marcelo, and he'll kind of dive into some of the other details of what we have here to present to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. We have several different aspects to analyze a project like that. Dennis mentioned a lot of them: the economic impact, the environmental impact, the job generation, the trade, the training to the population, and the possibility of training offered to the community. And one of these aspects is regarding the CO2 emission in our process, and compare the recovered carbon black or pyrolysis oil with the traditional or conventional products. So when you look to recover carbon black, the main application, as Dennis mentioned, is for the plastic, the rubber industry, and it can be used to substitute the conventional carbon black. So when we compare the CO2 generation in a conventional process with our circular economy process, we have an economy or we avoid CO2 emission. So the numbers, of course, it's an average, but to compare, we can avoid about 1.1 tons of CO2 for each 1 ton of the recovered carbon black produced. So that's the way to compare with conventional recovered carbon black. And thinking about just phase 1 facility, these numbers grow to something around 9,000 tons of the CO2 avoided per year. So we have a space for, at least in Texas, for compared with the amount of the tires that are going to the landfills. Nowadays, we have a space for 10 facilities. Complete facilities, it means phase 1 plus phase 2. With the 10 facilities, we can reach almost 190,000 tons of the CO2 avoided per year. Just mention the recovered carbon black. We also have the impact in the other products as well. So for the oil, when they look at the oil and compare, when they look to the steel, we still have this the CO2 avoided for the oil application, but for the steel specifically, the number is bigger. We avoid for 1 ton, each 1 ton of the steel. We avoid almost 2 tons of the CO2 emitted. So again, comparing only phase 2, almost 3,000 tons per year of the CO2 avoided in the environment when we compare with this the traditional process. So this is another way to look at this project. Not only the benefit of the removing tires and bring value to the user tires, but also the impact in the environment when we compare with traditional process and conventional products.
You want to cover that?
Yeah. Just to mention, we have a table here with this all the destination for tires in the US, and we have different applications. They can be used as a fuel in cement industries. Part of them are exported. They can be used to produce rubber floor for playgrounds, for sport space, and in the end of the day, what there is no application. They are put in a landfills. If we compare with the number of or quantity of tires put in a landfill in the US, we have a space for almost 30 facilities like this one, just to avoid or to eliminate the landfills, the tires that go to the landfills. When you looked at the numbers in Texas, again, we have the space for 10 facilities like that to bring the balance or zero the balance of the tires that are going to the landfills nowadays. And one important aspect about the tire industry, we are seeing a lot of the developments in automotive industry with the new technology coming, electronic vehicles, increase in market share here, there. It's a perspective, but looking for tires, we have no alternative or no other technology, at least for the next 10, 15 years, that will substitute tires. So with the all technology in vehicle industry or change to the conventional to electrical vehicles, we still need tires. So tires will continue to be produced. So we have a good opportunity to transform those tires in a useful feedstocks again and put in the economy again.
Okay, and we'll wrap up this reintroduction and highlight of what we're talking about here, as we wrap it all up into a package here for Liberty County, for Dayton, for the state of Texas. You know, the big overarching highlight here is foreign direct investment from international investors partnered with Texas investors. And what this will create is job creation, local and state revenue, business growth, and investment into the community. We're not only going to be recycling tires. I mean, there's a lot more value add chain here. We have 100 hungry folks, craving some good Texas barbecue and some good food, but we have trucks that need maintenance, preventative maintenance. We're going to be buying parts, services, electricity, utilities. Now, from the community and infrastructure benefits, number one, providing a value-added service that provides a clean environment operation. It supports local businesses, innovation and leadership in a new technology, a new industry to the community. From an environmental centered perspective, we're looking at waste reduction. Right now, according to TCEQ, last year's figures, there are approximately 57.1 million tires disposed of just in the state of Texas alone. Nobody's doing what we're doing in the state of Texas. So what is being done with this waste? So it's not being brought back in through what they classify as a circular economy. Yes, there's a lot of track and fields. There's asphalt paving crews that are benefiting from this, but really what's being done with the remainder of the material. So the other valued point here as far as environmental is concerned is lower greenhouse gas emissions and sustainable resource recovery. So we're providing a very value-added way of recovering these materials. From a statewide impact perspective, this supports and it fully aligns with Texas's sustainability goals. Number two, it reduces dependence on imports. So we're not importing these goods from Oconus outside the United States suppliers. This is homegrown, home generated, and our feedstock is American feedstock. So we're not importing tires and feedstock from another country. And I think one of the most important things here that I'll finish with this encapsulating our value add here is the scalable green economy model. And really what we're doing is we're creating this and we're leading in this sector. Now, with all this, I'll just end with one last sentence that we are bringing a sustainable solution in the circular tire economy, which is PXA. And so we're happy to be doing this with you, with Liberty County, with Dayton, with your good selves, and Honorable Judge Knight under your leadership and under the honorable commissioners. We're thankful for your time and thank you for allowing us to present and represent this information.
That's a good cover. Thank you. I mean, it's a pretty good summary there, Gerald. I know we're going to have some questions. So
we're ready to answer.
Yeah, that's good. First thing, Andy's our fire marshal.
Okay.
And we've had problems in the past with tire recycling companies in the county and fire. I mean, are you familiar with this type of process? And if you are,
yes.
Enlighten us. And if you're not, well, then maybe we get that way.
The process not 100%. No, it's newer than what I experienced in previous employment. I have a whole list of questions. I'm not sure if we're ready to get off into that yet, but your 30 metric tons of tires, there was a little over 10% of the intake that wasn't accounted for as recovery. Where would that 3,000 or so metric tons go?
This is a great question, and in our presentations, we've really highlighted, and that's a very detailed catch. Not many people catch that. I really appreciate this. This is an excellent question. So we have from the recovery perspective, we have I'll tell you the exact percentages.
Yeah, hold on a minute. We have.
There we go.
Union Pacific Bank is driving by right now.
So we have out of the recovery and capture process here, we start with the steel. So out of every tire, we are recovering 20. That allocates for steel. Steel allocates 27% of what we recover out of a tire. So that's 27. The next thing we recover is TPO, the oil, which is 35%. And then the third is recovered carbon black, which is 28. The last 10% that we recover, Marshall, is the gas. So that equates to the 100% of what we capture and recover.
What was the last 10%? I didn't understand.
That's gas.
Yes.
So how much would end up going to a landfill that can't be reused? Is there anything that is transported off and dumped somewhere?
Waste.
No,
No waste?
no waste. That's how we are able to qualify for the ISCC certification. So it's zero waste and it's a circular economy.
Mhm.
What goes in comes back out and is reintroduced to the supply chain. 100%. And actually, the even cooler part of that is it's actually not 100% because some of that we consume to power our factory. And
What was the next lead in?
sure, okay.
When you do this recovery for your use on site, is your recovery process considered an open system or a closed system as far as the chemicals in the recovery and the gases that you use to generate?
I'll have to pass the mic on that one. Here we go.
Yeah, the gas system, the recover the gas. We have a treatment for those gas, and then after we burn pure gas to the in our pyrolysis reactors. But we have a treatment before to burn those gas in our reactors. We have a system to clean the gas, the pyrolysis gas.
But is it an open system or a closed system?
It's a closed system. It's a closed system. Yeah.
And then on your feedstock coming in, do you have a limit of what you will have that hasn't been processed before you slow down, suspend, or halt reception of more feedstock? Do you get caught up? I mean, how long is it going to be on the ground before it gets the process?
Yeah, thanks.
Sure. So we operate this process. I have an aviation background as well. I mean, that's really how I started off my career as in aviation. So in aviation, we have something that's, in high density airports, it's called slot restrictions. So we operate in a one, it's a very lean process, but it's like having a slot. If you're a truck driver that's delivering us a 26-foot open box of tires, end of life tires, you have a time window that you need to deliver this in. So that's number one. Number two, the reason we do that is because we don't stockpile tires. If we did, we'd be in the wrong business. We have to operate a very lean process to make sure everything is, of course, there's ebbs and flows, but it's flowing in a very smooth and professional manner, and just make sure production stays steady. Now, as far as how much time the tires are there, again, that's also a lean process too. The moment a truck comes into our first stage of shredding, that is, the truck is there, the driver, he's on the clock, but so are we. And those tires are immediately taken to the first stage immediately. They're not going into any stockpile, anything like that. Immediately when those tires come onto our property, it's to be immediately shredded. And then from there it goes step 1, step 2, step 3 of shredding. So virtually no time of stockpile.
Hit the ground and sit there for a day or two or a week or whatever.
End of life tires, no. However, our production, based on our production capacity, but then also our delivery, in some times of the year, we may have a surge. We may have a surge before the holidays, after the holidays, where we're going to have surge events. Around Christmas, we may not be collecting a whole lot of tires, but right after Christmas, it's going to pick up. So we do have a staging area, not for end of life tires, but for the shredded pellets of tires, which is either second or third stage shredded tires. So
Loose on the ground, or is it already bagged?
it would be loose. It would be loose under a roof, but it's in a very controlled fashion. I mean, for us, the longer that sits, the longer our production and our predictable outcome changes, and that's not very good for us because that's not the business we're in. We're not in the business to let any of that raw material sit. So, but it would only be in the instance, the very rare instance of a surge event. That's the best way to explain
But your
this.
plant has a component built into it
Yes.
to adjust and account for that.
Yes.
To deal with it.
Yeah, because even on these holidays, we're operating, the factory is operating, but that part of our operations for these surge events, we have to be mindful to these holidays. I mean, it's, you know, we all celebrate this but also as a factory, we need to maintain operations as well. So I hope that answers your question. Does that answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the big part of it, we have a tire recycler in the county
Mhm.
with enough to keep you busy for a year
Mhm.
on the ground and piles.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what I don't want to support.
Mhm.
Just jumping in saying, "Hey, sounds great, let's go forward,"
Mhm.
without addressing the problem we already have
Mhm.
somewhere else. Not to blame you,
Yeah.
but you could actually end up being a solution to that problem down the road. But I don't want to create another stockpile
Mhm.
of feedstock that needs to be processed
Yeah.
as fast as we can is the excuse.
Yeah, so this is a great point, and I just want to I want to provide you a direct answer. So we do not stockpile tires. Yeah, if we were in the pest control business, we would stockpile tires because it creates pests, right, and attracts flies. But no, we definitely are not in the tire stockpiling
But
business.
the question I have that's related to his is,
Sure.
would you buy stockpiled tires? The way y'all explained it previously, it's you probably want these tires to be relatively clean and just coming off the vehicle.
Mhm.
You know, because I don't know if you have a process for handling if they were in a big pile somewhere, buried dirt and all the things that go with it. I don't think you're in a position to clean them before you grind them and do that.
Yes.
Or do you have a separation system for that as well?
Well, I'll start with your first question as far as would we buy stockpile tires? What we are interested in is there are grant programs within the state. Maybe they are on the local level as well, but there are grant programs to collect tires. So we have really two aspects of our business that I can highlight here. Number one is the factory that we've described to you. That's our operation to pull and extract these raw materials out of end-of-life tires. The first, which is collecting our raw materials, these end-of-life tires. This is a paid-for service where we provide the logistics to go and collect those tires for a fee. Now, just to give you an idea, the general market for this is maybe the oldest business in the tire collection and recycling, the recycling industry now. An average recycling fee and collection fee to go collect a tire, 1 or 100 or 1,000, is approximately $3 for a tire and $9 to $14 for an OTR tire, over the road tire. And so usually this is a paid for service. Now, what we are looking to do is think outside the box, with some of the offset dollars that the state has, for different grant programs, and see if those programs can be allocated for a tire collection service like our own to go and collect those tires,
So
and
you
we
get
recoup that through
multiple
grants.
revenue streams, even just collecting the
Yeah,
tires.
they,
Yes, sir.
they
Yes,
don't
sir.
pay people for tires. People pay them to take the tires.
That's correct.
I understand. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's on top of the fee they pay the state when you buy a tire for its future disposal.
That's up to the state. Yeah. Does that answer the question? Yeah. Good.
Would you be open to having some sort of planned events, not necessarily 24/7, but for the public to bring all the tires, if we could encourage them to do so
Yes.
and work out some sort of program that way?
Yes, absolutely. We are very interested in impact. So this would impact the community, it'd impact our business, and a resounding yes. We are totally into this idea and concept. whether it's at the high school events on a Saturday morning or wherever. We're definitely open to this idea.
Where's this going to be located?
Gulf Inland.
Gulf Inland.
Is that part of the Gulf Inland that's in the city of Dayton, or is it in the county?
To the city.
In the city.
But still in the county.
That limits my involvement.
Oh, I see. I see.
Okay.
If it's in the city limits,
I got you.
without an ILA or some predetermined authority.
Now, being y'all building this at the rail yard, do y'all expect to be importing tires as well as exporting
So
materials, or is it just exporting?
we will.
What I'm asking is, are y'all bringing tires from all over the country here?
Well, there's plenty just in the state of Texas to address the capacity that we need to build up to. To answer your question, yes, we will be importing from other counties, other cities in the state of Texas. So that's a yes. From outside from other countries, no. I mean, our focus is to be a very supportive Patriot-owned business, and it's Liberty County and Dayton first, Texas first, United States first, and this is our focus. We could, as Breno and Marcelo mentioned earlier, we could put just 10 of these alone in the state of Texas before our impact in Texas is really just beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So this is super important, and from the United States perspective, we're both of our groups are in the mining industry, and I mean we're in Tajikistan mining critical minerals, and even our primary interest is get those minerals to the United States. Impacting America first is our goal, and really Texas, Liberty County, Dayton is right there along with it.
Just a comment about that is that, and also help to explain why our phase one is 30,000 tons per year and not bigger than that, considering that we have a lot of tires in Texas in the United States. Basically, the reason is when you look at the process as a whole and logistics, etc., there's some kind of non-efficiency when you transport tires because you have a lot of air. It's difficult to accommodate. So if you need to bring tires for long distance, it's not efficient. You are emitting CO2. It's not efficient. So the best approach is to have the facility 30,000 tons, eventually having the phase two, another 30,000 tons capacity, and then collect tires from the a limited rate from your facility. If you have to bring tires from Amarillo, San Antonio, maybe it's the best approach is to have another facility there and then collect it in that region.
Makes sense as far as the trucking, the expenses, the rail yard, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So your phase one will be the $50 million worth of capital investment that we're talking about here today.
Yes,
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Do y'all have an operation like this set up anywhere else?
we do, and I'll highlight on that. So currently, our operation has been running successfully in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So a city of approximately high 20, nearly 30 million people. It's a major metropolitan city.
Where's that at?
In Brazil. So South America, and it's a much larger New York City. It's like New York City, Philadelphia, Dallas, Houston combined, and in the middle of that metropolitan city, we are like just right outside of an area called Alphaville, which is the higher rent district of the community. So it's really watched. There's a lot of overwatch there in that community, and we're right there in their backyard. And when you're driving by it, we know because we know where it's at, but when you're driving by it, we have treescape around, we have odor control, all types of systems and backstops in place. And an ordinary fellow wouldn't realize where they're driving by.
I saw the picture you had last month or so. You know, a drone took. It looked like you're in a jungle somewhere. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like you're in a metropolitan area by that, that one picture that I saw that you guys showed. So you said odor control, and that kind of threw up.
I knew it would.
A little
That's
bit.
why I said it.
Because a lot of people that have to put odorizers on their perimeter, that's kind of scary. But so in the industry that I came from, we had an old saying, if you can smell it, we can't sell it. So what about your containment and these odors that are generated? Because it, you know, we want someone to be okay with living just outside your fence, right? And it's not just the residents from where the prevailing winds carry whatever is generated into neighborhoods in the future. But what about your neighbors in Gulf Inland? How are they going to feel about you?
Sure. Great question. You want to touch on that? Yeah.
Okay, so it's a point of concern, especially because we are operating 10 years in Brazil. People there are very aware about the legislation, the environmental legislation there. And one question, thinking about investing in the U.S., especially in Texas, is thinking about, hey, how much is this threshold for emissions? How the TCEQ deal with the company like that? So we hired a company here, the BGE Inc., to develop a study comparing the historical emissions that we have in Brazil in equipment, and also the new equipments planned to be installed here, and check the potential emissions for particular matters, for volatile compounds, CO, etc., and compare those emissions with the TCEQ threshold. We have a chart with the numbers are very below the threshold in the TCEQ. Even in this, this is to have an approach and then understand, okay, we are far from there. We need to be aware. We need to take care of this or that. But we need to submit this project to a permit in TCEQ. They will look in more detail all those numbers, equipment, the model of the dispersion of the air emissions. But we are comfortable about that. We are very below the threshold. The same as we have in Brazil. We have the operation every year. We need to revalidate our permission in the environmental entity, and no problems regarding that. So we have this I'd say no problem with the particular emissions or volatile emissions that can cause odor and perturb the neighborhood.
So any agreement we would have would be contingent upon these TCEQ EPA approvals of your project, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were mentioning some things. So does your business model include selling carbon capture credits? Because you're in this circular economy, you're saving. It looks like somebody might be after you for purchasing those credits that this industry might generate. Is that part of your model?
It has not been part of our model in the past 10 years, but I mean we're very commercial and we're very mindful.
There's a lot of companies interested in buying credits.
Yeah, we're very mindful of that, and it's certainly something that we would like to evaluate. But a quick answer.
Can I get a percentage of that if y'all? Just teasing. That's a joke.
No, we're listed as a non-attainment area. We've tried to get that changed over the years, but it's always been well, you're next to Houston, and prevailing winds present a problem. But yet we still don't even have a metering device in this county. So you look at that, the arguments are there, but then again, they're somewhat moot at this time. Your production of oil, you said it was how many
I'll give
millions of gallons?
I'll give you the exact amount on our production capacity. It's
We got some more money coming by.
Yeah. it's 1051.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
It's good.
10.5
That's
metric
business.
Tons of oil and gas. Is that what it was?
You know, they get busy. It happens pretty regular. Yeah.
That's good.
It keeps coming.
Why I would rather hear a real train rather than a train tornado.
I'll agree.
So oil production is 10,500 metric tons per year based on our initial capacity.
What does that translate into gallons?
Ooh, Breno, you have that translation?
Gallons.
Yes. Stand by.
Or barrels. Or barrels.
Yeah.
We understand barrels.
Around 3 million.
10 million?
3 million.
3 million. That's about one Exxon tanker per year.
That's okay.
But it's a lot of loads.
It's a lot of
going
loads,
to the
Yes.
ship channel.
Mhm.
And
It's a
Commissioner,
lot
I
of
wanted
tanker trucks hauling in the county.
to make sure we addressed your question as far as export import. Okay. Yeah. So going back to that very quickly, just to digress, we may be doing, one of the businesses we own is we maintain fleet vehicles. So we maintain them for the airports, for USG, for Amazon, FedEx, UPS, Best Buy, Budget, and Avis. We maintain their over-the-road vehicles and their last mile delivery vehicles. And we do that in Central Texas right now. So we'll have those offtake contracts for the tire collection for us to run through our factory here. So now initially what we may do is set up what's called secondary shredding facility in Central Texas, if this is the only facility we have with capacity at the moment. And then we will be importing those here, and really just to build up the awareness and of what we're planning to build here.
Yeah. These will be trucked in since you're not rail served, right?
Pardon me?
You're not rail served in your area. There is rail in your area, but you're not going to be served by rail, correct?
Yeah, so we'll look at all different modes of transportation to get it here. And then going back to odor control, does that answer all the questions there?
It does on odor. Now I'm going to pivot over toward carbon black, which is a really nasty creature.
Sure.
So, do y'all have scrubber systems on your warehouses or where you handle carbon black?
Yeah, a good question. This is part of the learning curve that we have in Brazil, and an improvement in the process, in the industrial process. We, instead of to deal with the recovered carbon black, which very small powder spread very easily. So we have a part of our process, we agglutinate or pelletize those powders. So we transform the powder in pellets.
Okay.
So it's easy to handle.
You inject polymer or something.
We have a polymer,
Pelletize
yeah, and then pelletize it. And then this is the final form for our recovered carbon black. It's not a powder, it's a pellet.
Okay.
So it's easy to manage, and it's
Okay. So again, that one photo that I've seen, I looked at your exhaust fans and there was a little bit of dark stain around adjacent, but it wasn't covered like you would kind of expect with carbon black. But I did see some on those exhaust fans again from that shot on that roof.
Yeah, and
the warehouse.
It's been a moving target as far as improving our processes. And the reason I mentioned odor control, because I knew it would come up, and I wanted to just forecast that question. And really, it's not. We haven't created the standard.
we are creating the standard. It's always a moving target of process and improvements and processes. I mean, you have to always maintain that improvement. And you had something else to add? Yeah.
Just an additional comment. It's a benefit for some of our customers because they mentioned they work with in the plastic industry, for example. They deal with the polyethylene, polypropylene, and they complain that when they buy the conventional carbon black, when even they open the bag, it's a start to spread and the factory and the spread out for all the other products and process or other lines. So it's an additional benefit for us to handle it and contend the spread of powder, and for customers as well, because they said, hey, it's a very good solution because we can handle in our facility without this problem anymore.
So my wife is she loves to bake, so we use powdered sugar a lot in our house. So maybe we should buy pelletized powdered sugar so it's not over our house all the time.
Yeah.
But this is what we've done for carbon black: is pelletize it it's a backstop to solve many issues. And just like the odor control, the dust control, these are backstops. These are redundancies that we have in place. Number one, maintain professionalism, but then, from an operational perspective, we have to have redundancies in place because you have to prepare. You just have to be prepared if something does happen. What's in our SOPs as the backstop, and so that's why we have these measures in place.
Are your employees required to wear dust mist fume respirators
in the
carbon black area?
Yes. Oh, yes. And hopefully when we have this constructed, we'd love to have you be our guests, and we'll have you suited and booted. So we'll have you all prepared there. But what we have done in our reactor facility is we have it's safety first for our people. Our people are the gold of our operation, and our people come first. And taking care of them. But one thing that we have moved the line as far as the standard is how we've designed the new facilities here for the United States and for this facility here in Dayton. Our reactors were too close to the ground. They weren't up high enough for us to easily maintain. I mean, we have to maintain them no matter what the facility, but for ease of maintaining, for our facilities maintenance crews, what we're doing is we've decided to go ahead and change and update the design to make it higher so we can walk under there and maintain, the ground and the floor around our reactors. Okay. And this is just an example of constant improvement.
So you don't think you're going to have any difficulties adapting to OSHA regulations?
No.
For worker safety?
No, I mean, we're in constant contact with subject matter experts and OSHA and TCEQ, former employees and higher level execs in those type of organizations to make sure that they understand that this is a constantly improving standard.
Yeah, and I don't know the rules in Brazil, so I just know what's required here. So
yes.
Okay. Matthew, I don't know if this is a fair question to ask or not, but I'll give it a shot. I'm sure you're applying also for an abatement to the city of Dayton, correct?
We are, yes.
Yeah. Okay. You've already met with them, and have they come up with any notes as far as what their offer is going to be at this point? And you don't have to disclose that now, but I'm just curious. But, never mind. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I do have this on my desk. But you ought to see my desk. Okay. First year is 100%, second year 100%, third year 75%, fourth year 50%, year 5 25%. So total of 5-year abatement, and that is real and personal property. Okay.
Correct.
So after 5 years,
5 years.
we're back to playing ball our way, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be that proposal? Would that include the same terms for phase 2? would that start a new 5-year period? And when phase 2 rolls around, they would apply only to phase 2 construction. If I'm saying that wrong.
We would appreciate it if we can get this extended for as long as we're bringing new investment dollars, new direct investment into the project.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Answer is yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been 10 years in business in Sao Paulo. You're looking to come to Texas, specifically Dayton, Liberty County. And this is the first of its kind anywhere in this country. So you're possibly looking down the road to replicate this in other areas, correct?
Yes, sir. And we'd be proud to rise the flag of Dayton and Liberty County in doing so, and saying our landmark project started here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
That's correct.
did y'all have a proposal
I'm sorry, sir.
on this abatement?
Marcelo, you've been in
sorry.
charge of all that.
The proposal for
Did y'all propose what you would like to have for in terms of tax incentives?
we made I believe we put some numbers in the application. I can remember now the top of my mind, but the city of Dayton sent a letter with this abatement. I'd say this is enough or sufficient for our business plan right now in this phase 1.
Yeah. If it was, 50 million is a substantial amount of value. And I think those numbers ride pretty much from what we've looked at. If it was, a data center or an Exxon coming to Liberty County, they're going to invest $1 billion, and we'd probably look at 10 years, which is our maximum. But 5 years, that's pretty much, we can't roller skate in the buffalo herd, but I think we can roller skate with this, so. Of course, we can't make a decision now. We're still going to have to discuss that amongst ourselves.
Mhm.
And,
I just wanted to hear if they felt pretty good about that. That's
About what we have already from the city. I think it's amenable from our group to really keep moving things forward.
great.
in other words, it's a good start.
It's a great place to start. I mean,
All right.
there's some people that start at 0 and that's not really a start. So
Right.
if this is a great starting point for us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andy, you got any more questions?
The big question is, am I going to be involved?
I'm not representing the city of Dayton, but yeah, we do represent the county of Liberty. I think you would be very much involved in it.
Well, I mean, if it's in the incorporated city, then
Yeah.
you limit my involvement without-
Well, would that be an MOU item, Matthew?
It would be that I would think the city would reach out and let you know,
You can reach out
or we could reach out.
and have to initiate that conversation.
Yeah.
Because right now they're using third parties, and that can change and actually be a detriment to their project.
Yeah.
If they change third party vendors midstream, even between planning and construction.
Fair point.
Melinda, you've been quiet back there. You have anything you want to add? Okay.
I just have one other question. Sure. You guys, you've hung your hat on this ISCC certification. Where is that body? Where is that governing body home based?
Great question.
The ISCC. They're Germany, a Germany entity, and basically they do some visits and knowledge the process for all circularity businesses, and basically they say, hey, we're saying that you are circular, your process is a circular business. Let me take a look in all your process, auditate it, look the products, the quality of products, and then they immediate certificate, say, hey, you have the ISCC approval. And I believe that every 2 years they need to revalidate and check again and visit your facility and check if you have this
Great.
every year.
So to maintain your certification.
Yeah.
Is it similar to like ISO? The ISO
Yeah, it's similar,
9000?
but it's for the circular.
This industry.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That's good.
What they certificate, your product, your process is sustainable. If you don't mix, for example, you don't mix conventional carbon black, if you recover carbon black.
Right.
The certification, the tires is scrap or new tires. Okay, your process is closed or you receive other raw materials. And when you sell, you mix something or it's a recover carbon black, recover product. They certificate it. Oh, this company is sustainable. The raw material is scrap waste, and the products they don't mix new raw material in the product. They certificate since the beginnings when they receive the tires or the dealer that we collect the tires to our clients. Okay, they certificate. Okay, this is a ESCC plus company. The product is certificated.
Good.
Every year they see the mass balance, check with the suppliers. They call where we collect the tires and our clients. They certificate. Okay, ESCC plus one more year.
Good. Did y'all start off with this certification, or y'all sought this after you got it going and you were looking to expand? You're looking for world domination now, right?
No, I'd say that's it's like ISO, for example. It's important in a negotiation to sell our products. If I say I have ISCC,
Yes.
so it automatically eliminates a lot of steps because my partner, my business partner, know what I'm talking about. So okay, I'm not worried about your process, and the negotiations tend to be more faster in this way.
I want to directly answer your question. So we did not start with ISCC plus certification. So we pursued this in 2023 just to rise the standard of how we operate. In different companies and holdings that our two groups have, we have the course ISO 9001, the 14,000, and health, safety, environmental, and really ISCC plus. There's ISCC, and ISCC plus is really an opportunity just to go out and provide more third-party oversight and credibility to how we operate. And so that started in 2023.
Okay, thanks.
And
it speaks to the quality of your company.
Yeah, we have ESCC plus and we have ESCC AU. AU is a certification for export our TPO to Europe. They use this TPO with biobunker, AMF, alternative marine fuel. They mix it with bunker oil in some refinery in UK, in Europe, or in Asia. And we need this certification, ESCC AU, to export our TPO to mix it or to produce the biofuel in Europe. Okay, it's another certification that we have, the same ESCC company, but different certification. The plus is to certificate the sustainability of your product. AU to export to Europe is a specific certification for Europe for biofuel.
It definitely keeps us on our toes and always keeps that standard moving that I was highlighting earlier. And when you're stagnant and don't have a governing body like ISCC, poking and prodding, then you get comfortable, and that's when odor control comes into play and other types of things that we don't want to have happen in our business. We want to make sure that we're always moving forward.
Just in time delivery is a great method. It's going to cause somebody a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Trying to keep those trucks flowing.
Yes.
A lot of good questions, a lot of good information. I've got one. So everything's in place and you push the go button. If you were to start the construction of your facility today, how long would it be until it's ready to start producing?
We are expecting about 1 year and a half to have all the equipment and assemble, and considering the construction of the buildings together with the permits to do that, and also the environmental permit, total time of around 2 years. So thinking about starting today or with the approval today, we could start producing the first quarter 2028.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay. Jeff, I hadn't heard a lot from you back there, but y'all ready to get busy, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been fun learning about the process, and definitely had no idea it was even out there. And meeting with these guys and partnering with them, I'm excited about having a part of developing, doing what we can to help.
We got them a good location where
We got them on the hard corner. They're
Okay.
good to go.
All right.
They're ready to close today.
There you
Well,
go.
We are, yeah.
that I'm understanding, this is not your normal tire disposal facility.
Not your normal tire disposal. That was one of the questions. from
That's
city
a big
council
deal.
was
Yes.
They're worried about piles of tires.
Yeah.
And that's not happening there. It's a very clean facility. You know, we wouldn't be on the side of having coming if some of your concerns, you know, and then they're good concerns. We have them too, but we've actually looked at it and know that they're a great partner.
And I will put out an open invitation for anyone that has the opportunity to come down to Brazil. We'd love to host you, and we can eat some good meat in Brazil too. So if you can make your way down there, we'd love to host you, and you guys can see really what we're talking about and what we'd love to duplicate here in Liberty County and Dayton.
My Spanish is real good, but my Portuguese is limited.
That's why you have us.
Matt, do you have any questions you can think of?
Nope.
Anybody else?
Everything sounded good.
Bruce, Greg,
Thank you.
anything? Okay. Drew? Going once, going twice. Go. All right,
No,
let's
I just want to say, very informative. Whenever you talk about tire reclamation and carbon black, bunker fuel, I start throwing my pinchers up,
Mhm.
Yep.
But this sounds like you're going to be a good neighbor, a good
Thank you.
business for the community.
Thank you. We look forward to delivering on that.
All right. Well, as I said, we can't make a decision on what direction we'll go here, but we will be considering this in the very near future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
for your time.
Appreciate y'all coming.
Thank you.
And we are adjourned.